Look where we start. Look where we finish.
It is giving Beauty and the Beast, where she's imprisoned.
Me, formaldehyde. Can you imagine me in an inflatable piece of furniture? That could actually be quite nice.
I think we should watch some clips from the show. What do you think?
Let's indulge ourselves.
Yes. Rough start.
That's one of mine, so be nice.
Every studio apartment needs a Stonehenge, Laurence.
No, I know. I mean, obviously this is the 90s, so the term vibe didn't exist. It's supposed to have the odeur of a New York art gallery.
Do you think that's livable? Do you think that they left those
What
there?
about my face suggests that I care?
Nothing.
And there we are.
Yep.
Art is something to make you cry, and that does it every morning when you stub your toe on it. That was actually a moment of great excitement for us all, because we used bendy MDF for the first time.
Bendy MDF.
So that curve was only achieved through bendy MDF, my friend.
A bendy MDF couch.
It's more like a church pew. It's so uncomfortable.
So would we change or would we keep this design?
I'm inventing a new category, which is make it worse. So I'd keep it and then really turn the volume up. You have no idea.
And what would you do?
I think it needs steel. I think it needs rusty, quite sharp steel in there to really make it uncomfortable.
To keep the art theme, I think we should have a banana duct taped to the wall.
The original thing was we were going to try and do a Damien Hirst, and I was trying to find something that we could put in formaldehyde. But the producers very wisely decided that me, formaldehyde, with my reputation, no.
It was smart.
On your marks, get set, throw.
Stand back.
Whoa, it's like well-cooked spaghetti. Aha! Now this is the first ever series. And this is the first time I'd ever been to Newcastle. Lovely spiral shapes.
Oh
rippling
my God,
water.
Lawrence. The rarely celebrated aesthetic, wet yarn.
That's excellent. There was one wall that worked because we spent about 5 hours on it, but it was quite a big room. Actually, with the string quite densely done, it looked like a beach where the tide was out, and it was quite effective. But in terms of man hours, it would have been cheaper to just take the textured wallpaper off and start again. But that wouldn't be the point, would it?
No, then we wouldn't have this clip to
Then we
make
wouldn't
fun
have
of.
that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have that moment.
So, change or keep?
I'd change. To be honest,
You would.
No, what I'd do is I'd scrape the textured wallpaper off, and then I'd Artex, and then I'd throw the string. But the string will forever stay. There was a point. I think one of the tabloid red top newspapers then started calling me after that the Lord of the Strings, which I think
This is one of your most villain moments, really. You really were throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks.
We're stuck with this very red carpet.
Ah.
So the only thing I think you can do with a red carpet is go black and white. Very fashionable, very sexy.
This is one of the most famous ones. I mean, listen, look what it looked like. Look at what it looked like. Now it looks like this.
The vibe here, you said sexy.
Yeah.
With the zebra.
Yeah, that was sexy if you're another zebra.
Yeah.
I felt we delivered on that one, and I was extremely surprised when they said they didn't like it.
Oh my God. What am I going to do with this lot?
That's a keeper.
Yeah, no, that's incredible.
That should actually be recreated in the Victoria and Albert Museum, because that literally became the point where changing rooms, it had an enormous amount of affection and people were really getting into it. But then suddenly it became part of national consciousness. Suddenly people were then absolutely fixated by this show because stuff like that happened. And in the mid-90s, people weren't that honest, they weren't that real, they weren't that genuine. Everything was very, very the same, very grown up, very beige.
I'm assuming you're going to keep this instead of changing it.
No, listen, for goodness sake, if nothing else, we need to preserve that for the world to make sure it never happens again.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
It needs to be held up. Never do this.
It was their fault. They had red carpet.
Exactly.
And you couldn't be bothered.
They had red carpet in Eltham. They needed to be punished. Ooh, where are we here? Oh, hello. Ooh.
It still looks like the paint tape is on it.
It still looks like the before. I've never apologized for changing rooms.
You apologize for this?
But now I'm about to apologize for that.
This actually isn't even one of the worst ones.
It's so 90s.
Okay. So obviously you don't like this one.
It's going.
Yeah.
People forget the sheer diversity of stuff that we used to do. There was nothing like this on television. Nobody was doing anything like this on television. I mean, there were little moments that were actually quite clever in there, like the decoupage flowers. That made it very kind of mainstream 90s. But I'm now very embarrassed that I was so mainstream. I must apologize. Please, world.
I was about to
forgive
say,
me.
this really
what
was...
What can I say? There was a moment I was given the wrong meds.
The only thing you're offended by is the more boring.
Oh, yeah, my God.
Yeah.
Please, show me something far worse. Oh, this was the first ever show.
So what was the inspiration behind having a bunk bed?
It was a child's bed.
Okay.
And interestingly, I mean, it's a surprise that this got pulled quite quickly from all the archives, because the health and safety standards decided that it was absolutely perfectly designed for the child to remove his eye on all the exposed bolts that actually held the whole thing together, which is perfectly true.
And so it was dangerous.
It was super dangerous.
You're like, fair.
Super dangerous.
You should pull that.
We should pull that. But I think there were some quite nice little projects. I remember doing coat hangers where I used faces like Henry VIII and maybe Paul Newman and stuff like that on the coat hanger itself.
Oh, yes, I see the hangers.
Look, see the hangers?
What a strange collection of people. I mean, the bed looks dangerous. It's a chain link ladder.
Yeah.
I'm astonished.
I know.
There's a lot in that room to unpack.
There was a lot.
So would we change this or would we keep it?
We're keeping it. I mean, we're doing very badly at the moment. We've only killed one. But yes, we're keeping that one as well for all sorts of, weird historical reasons. And actually, because that was the first programme ever, I remember there was a review in the Times of London, for goodness sake, saying if this show continues to be this honest, this show is going to be a huge hit. If it continues to show the fact that people don't like stuff, it will be groundbreaking. And that's quite prophetic in its own way. So this is the second most famous, which caused the second largest ab reaction. And look,
Laurence,
portraits of the couple.
Did you paint that?
Well, I superimposed various photographs and then did a bit of painting on top of it.
Oh, she's an amalgamation.
We all thought she was going to love it.
I mean, it is giving Beauty and the Beast, where she's imprisoned. It is definitely Gothic. It feels like a set of a play, for sure.
Yeah. Set of a murder.
I mean, Loganberry. I didn't even know that was a color.
You didn't even know Logan's had a berry.
No, I did. I actually did have to Google it. And it's a less expensive raspberry, which I think encapsulates
That's
that
damning.
room. Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, you guys, you're on a budget. You couldn't afford the raspberry.
Indeed. You're so right there.
So would you keep or would you change this one?
We remember it.
We remember. It's only in our hearts.
We light candles in its memory.
And we glue the candles to the wall.
Yeah, we do. This is my favourite ever.
Oh my God, the bed guardians. The sexy bed guardians.
The bed caryatids. Look where we start.
I mean, it's not right, but...
Look where we finish.
The
There is
open
nothing
candles
in
on the
there.
floor. You didn't think that was dangerous?
No, who cares?
Who cares?
I was sending runners to everywhere, corner shops, garages, get candles. There was a sudden, blip in the national candle market where all the candles were then suddenly used on the floor.
I can't.
I mean, I still think we should have actually made the caryatids useful so you could hang things on them.
Right on each nipple.
Yeah. I was cross with the show by this stage, so cross I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to play this anymore.
You weren't cross from the first episode?
So, no, but I got really kind of like, right, this is my door slam.
Oh, I
This
see.
is my teenage door slam.
Did they tell you they wanted something sexy or you just
They
knew?
said they wanted storage.
So, change or keep?
Oh, celebrate. Definitely.
Enhance and distribute.
Absolutely. And actually, they just absolutely bloody loved it, regardless of the fact it was nothing they actually wanted. And that, to me, is when design becomes the thing, becomes in the ascendant. It's actually, the room was incredibly important in all of this.
I love how you just forced yourself into you.
I like to say I forced design.
Sorry.
I used design was the battering ram.
Design.
I was
yes.
Design was the Trojan horse. I was inside the Trojan horse. I literally go from one lounging position to another.
Seriously.
Don't I? Really, how many ways to lounge? I mean, this is another one.
Oh
that
my
I
God,
was
Laurence.
absolutely astonished that they didn't hate it.
Seriously, looks like the fruit leather on the windows.
Well, this is the sort of thing that over here you always get in the door of a corner shop, so it's to keep the flies at bay.
So they're like behind another curtain. So you have to close the
Who knows? Who cares?
You're like, don't make me explain the fruit leather.
Details. But I mean, the thing is that nobody else was doing rooms
I wonder why. Like, why was no one doing that?
No, but you say that. When that show went out, the next day, you could not buy a tin of purple paint for love or money in the United Kingdom. Nobody wanted the fruit leather, to be fair, but it sold the colour. The colour was it just flew.
Every day to walk into a room like that is a lot. You know, it's a big weight on you, I think.
Yes, but so is having a Llewelyn-Bowen interior. It is a big responsibility.
Yes.
You know, people pay hundreds of thousands of pounds for one of my interiors, and they're getting it for free for 200 quid.
Yes.
For God's sake.
Hey, you're right.
I actually used to say that to them sometimes, and they'd laugh and they go, "How much?"
So would you keep or change this room?
Oh, keep it.
I would keep it too.
I mean, there's a lot I'd take out. The fruit leather, I agree. Let's put some nice furniture in there. But the purple walls with the ombre halfway up, that was magnificent, my friend.
Okay, I like the ombre.
Fruity.
Now that's a floorboard, right? That you put on that table? You didn't get that from the trash?
You saw that. And of course, the big one in here that everyone went wild for was the Colander lamp.
I mean, Laurence. Was this a trend in the 90s, like kitchen utensils as lighting fixtures?
Well, it sort of was. It was a kind of there were a lot of things like kind of Brazilian restaurants and Thai restaurants where they would use cans, which they put holes in, and they'd use that as a light fitting. And I thought, why not do something that's already got holes in it? Of course, it was a bit difficult when they needed to strain their greens because they had no Colander.
Had nothing. But can you explain the floorboard on top of a table?
Listen, I mean, again, if you go to a house in Scotland, they have these sort of big scrubbed pine tables, which are essentially floorboards. It's nothing different.
Yeah.
You know, and there they were free because they were from a skip. Obviously, there was a big hole in the floor.
Yes. So we would keep this.
No way.
No.
Far too boring, far too tasteful.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, God, blah, away. I think this is another one of those ones where they said that the colour that they hated the most was yellow.
And then you made it yellow.
I made it yellow. The only thing that makes yellow worse is blue. So I have two modes. One is pissing people off and the other one is showing off.
We would keep this room?
No way.
No, too boring.
Look, I mean, I don't want to rep for giving people what they want.
Yes. Oh, that's funny because the ones that I feel like are the most palatable, I'm like, let's keep it.
No way, Mike. No way, Jose. There's a one a bit later on. It was a Christmas special, and it was all about the fact that this woman hated orange and purple. I didn't know this. I did it not orange and purple. I did it tangerine and damson. But of course, it was orange and purple in most people's head. And so all the way through the process, this poor woman was being ribbed about orange and purple, and how much she hated me and stuff. And of course, we get to the very end. And this is one of the few times I actually heard a reaction as well. And she opens her eyes. Carol is like, you know, she's got the fire of kind of triumph as the eyes open. This woman goes, I love it. And Carol's going, what? But it's orange and purple. And this woman says, no, it's not. It's tangerine and damson. And so that's when I knew we'd won. That's when I knew design had won.
It's so fun for people to rewatch now because, especially me, because you really didn't give a F. Like, you really were going all out, doing whatever you wanted. Nowadays, people are very reserved. They're worried about how things appear. The internet has made people self-conscious and feeling cringe. You were like, I'm just gonna do it. I don't care.
And I think one of the funny things is that I still get that recognition. I still get that rep. 30 years on, I am still the guy that does that. And I mean, obviously now I'm sort of shuffled away into, you know, Cotswold retirement where all I'm shouting at is sheep and a hard of hearing butler.
Now I see why people were so charmed by you in 2 hours if they originally hated you. You can really talk your way out of anything,
oh my God,
Laurence.
You have no idea. The stuff I managed to post-rationalize with people.
Laurence, thank you so much for joining me. And you have given so much to the world of design and TV in the 90s and early 2000s, and I very much appreciate it.
Lovely. Thank you. Where's my check?
It's coming. Actually,
Where's the money?
We'll mail it to you.
Okay. I've heard that before.